What you are about to hear might just keep you up tonight. Welcome to Hauntcore Vault. I am the storyteller, and I'll help you fall asleep. If you are new, please subscribe to the channel. Let's dive in the vault. It was in the mid-70s. I was a kid in a small town. I'm old, I know. And we had a circus fair come by once. It only came once. I had never heard of it again. Very people from my little town remember it. I don't remember what it was called. No one else had heard of it. It looked like a regular fair. The poster had a pig in a magician's suit, a monkey fortune teller, the like. I begged my ma for some coins so I could go with some of my friends. Now, mind you, my parents were not neglectful, as you will come to see, but I promised I would be back before sundown, and my friend Timmy's older brother, John, was coming along with the 5 of us, kids, so it was all good, or so we thought. When we were walking in, there was a creepy deer lady in a nurse costume ushering us in. Something about the smile from my height made it look very unsettling. But, not one to put on a scared face in front of my friends, I rallied on. Thinking back, I would think all of my friends found it unsettling. We wanted to see the weirdest exhibits, and we did. Some of the creepiest things I have seen in the internet since does not hold a candle to what we saw that day. There was a guy in a cage, walking on all 4s, his hand extraordinarily long, and he walked on his toes and fingertips. His head was much smaller than a newborn baby's head. Think about the size of a large orange. He wore a black overall that made his pale hands, toes, and face look almost white. The cotton candy booths were manned by 2 men with rabbit faces and full white, fluffy, translucent cloaks, almost like the cotton candy themselves. Their eyes were all red like a bunny's and was creepy as hell. John bought us all cotton candy so we would not be so creeped out, though we could tell that even he was just mouthing his nervous laugh at each exhibit. Then there was the bunch of kids with mangled faces. They were playing with what looked like ventriloquist toys of what could have been their faces. One of the kids ran to the cage walls towards us and was screaming something which we could not make out, while the others looked solemnly at him. They looked so unsettling that one look at them and little Betty vomited all the cotton candy that she had had. A large man, he ought to have been 7 feet, shirtless, as his fleshy fat bounced off, walked into the cage and dragged the screaming member to an adjacent closed tent. He had hair like a sumo wrestler, but at that time it was even creepier. As he covered the tent, he peered, just his face out, and gave us the most disgusting, yellow, crooked-teethed grin I had even seen. We heard screams from the tent till we were about 10 cages off. We saw a central tent where the main attraction was going to be, as we were walking towards it through a row or lane lined with cages and shops and tents lining each side. The moment I took my eyes off the massive tent, I distinctly remember is the cawing of the Crow Girls, a pair of possibly conjoined twins who were dressed to look like the most disturbing Crow Girls I have ever seen. Thoroughly creeped out at this point, John dragged all of us out and back home even before lunch had begun. Though we were a bit disappointed the day was short, we were all glad it was over. The next day, my mom woke me up with a tight hug and told me to wake up. All the parents of the town were very restless, and they all met at my house. I was surprised to see my friends along with their parents in my house so early in the morning. They were congratulating John for bringing us home when he did. Apparently, exactly at 6 p.m., when the circus was about to close and people were exiting, the main tent collapsed, and 3 kids from my town, Randall Henkel Smith, Justin Drevel, and Anne-Laurie Kendrick, disappeared, completely vanished, without a trace. Before the townsfolk could even realize they were gone, the circus folk also disappeared, without a trace. Police search turned up nothing. They were gone as fast as they had come in. My parents and my friends' parents were happy we were home and helped the grieving parents by helping to search for their kids. We were too young to have known much. I was 10. Now that I'm much older, I wonder what really happened to those kids. I can't help but wonder if the circus folk took them and transformed into another grotesque attraction.
Every year, my town hosts a carnival. It's a big deal. Carousels, fair games, hall of mirrors, and that stupid twirly swing ride that makes you want to vomit. They really pull out all the stops for this one weekend in October. Growing up, I would get sugar sick, as my mom liked to call it, from all the cotton candy and funnel cakes. I'd only feel the symptoms after the night was done. While lying in bed, clutching my prizes, I ignored the malaise and played back all the festivities in my head. I skip the carnival now. It doesn't do anything for me anymore. So imagine my dismay as my girlfriend, who helps work the carnival, dragged me along one night after all the crowds had left. "No lines," she squealed. "I even know how to turn on the Ferris wheel." I tried to look excited. She yanked me over to the shooting gallery, and we sat down in front of a counter lined with water pistols. Several bullseye targets hung about 15 feet away. We fired away, but of course I let her win. I jumped the counter and make my way over to the prize rack. Huge stuffed animals, baseball caps, and t-shirts lined the wall. "Which one do you want?" I yelled back. She tried to look like she was making a life-altering decision. I'll admit now, it was kind of cute. Before choosing, I see her whip out her cell phone and snap a picture of me next to the prizes. "I'm stuck between picking you or the stuffed octopus next to the clown head doll. I'll take the octopus." I rolled my eyes and reached past the clown head doll for the octopus. From there, she pulled me over to the carousel. I watched her disappear into the engineer's control room, and a few seconds later, the pipe organ started, and the carousel cranked into motion. During the ride, she felt it was time for another picture. I really tried to smile. We only stayed in the Hall of Mirrors for a few minutes. It was pitch black in there. We kept bumping into the mirrors and each other. Of course, she snapped a picture in there, too. The blinding flash didn't help our disorientation. After the terrifying Hall of Mirrors situation, we decided to leave. She told me she was going to go home and post pictures of the great night. The next morning, I got on Facebook and noticed the small album she uploaded. I started reading through the comments. "Lucky bastards! Carnival all to yourself, nice!" What struck me off guard were the next comments. "Love the photo-bombing clown. Who was that dressed up as the clown?" Wait, what? I looked through the pictures again, and sure enough, there it is. In the carousel picture, there was a tall clown in the background. The speed of the ride somewhat blurred his image, but I could see him just standing there, arms at his sides. In the Hall of Mirrors, the flash illuminated the face of a smiling clown in one mirror in the corner of the picture. There was something chillingly twisted about his expression. How many times did I collide into him thinking it was my girlfriend? And lastly, there was the picture of me standing next to the shooting gallery prize rack. There he was, next to the octopus I grabbed for my girlfriend. I thought he was a doll, The realization made me absolutely sick. I was a hair's length away from him. His warm breath probably grazed my skin. What sort of sick delight did he get from doing this? I called up my girlfriend, who was still asleep, and asked her if she knew the clowns that were hired for the carnival. Her reply made me shudder. They got rid of clowns 5 years ago when parents complained they were scaring the kids. Update. After this whole incident, my girlfriend quit her job at the carnival. We had a bonfire this November where she incinerated the stuffed octopus. She also pulled the album off of Facebook and deleted the pics from her phone. She said they disturbed her way too much. What she doesn't know is that I copied the pictures from Facebook and saved them to my hard drive. I'm thinking of posting them here, but part of me doesn't want to relive that night.